Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Everquest Old School. And on tonight's episode, I am joined by two very good friends. We have Drk Dragn,
Hi, I'm Shalara. Call me.
and we are also with ZK here.
What's going on YouTube?
And we are over in Kurns Tower just killing stuff. We're having a good time. We're also talking about a few things. And one of the things we've been talking about for the last few episodes is guilds. And how do you know which one you should pick? Beginner guilds, some of the in-game guilds that you might get into when you want to do a lot of raiding. And we basically just been picking ZK's brain because he's been on this server for a very long time. He knows the guilds. He's been part of a lot of them, and he's right now part of some of the bigger guilds on the server. So he has a lot of information to impart to us, and I've just been picking his brain because I find the whole thing very, very interesting. And well, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say it all really is interesting. I mean, and I appreciate you guys talking to me about it because
Yeah, I mean,
it makes a great topic. It really does.
and it's a lot of information that a lot of people out there may be just getting into the game for the very first time. Because I get comments every so often where it's somebody saying they just got back into the game, they created a character, they look forward to getting up there, and then like a week later they're like, "Oh, I'm level 50. What's taking you so long?" Stuff like that. But they want to know, like, who do you join? Like, what's a good raiding guild? What's a good beginner guild? And that's the topic that I was going to ask you now is what guilds out there that you know of are kind of good for low levels? Like what's the
Me.
new low level on the market?
Pick me, teacher. Pick me. Pick me.
The Blackheart Pirates is
Yep.
another good one. They're really casual. They'll invite anybody and they'll go out of their way to help anybody. Kittens Who Say Meow is also good for the lower levels. There's a guild that just formed. I can't think of the name of it.
Are they in
Homeland.
guild?
No, Homeland Security. That's it. And they have a lot of lower level people too, and they're really nice. And there's also Anonymous. I mean, they raid Kunark stuff and Kunark dragons and stuff, and they're really casual. Like Chupa was saying, he's in that guild, and they're really good people. I know a lot of Anonymous people too.
Yeah, and Chupa's a great guy, and he's grouped with us many, many times in the past. And Anonymous I have seen around all over the place. But basically, when I was talking about low level, I was thinking of maybe like the first 15 levels of the game. Do you know of a guild out there that kind of specializes in recruiting young? And then, of course, you're going to lose a lot of people.
I may have to zone these.
Yeah, I think you should.
Then
Yeah,
we're
go
all
ahead and
gonna
zone
have
it.
to zone.
He can zone back in. We might be able to take one or two of these real quick. I might be able to
They're
take.
on me.
I'm trying to get them off you.
Yeah.
They're off. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, we might be good. I mean, you're doing pretty good. You're at 45, 46%. We've already gotten this guy down. He's almost dead. So
Do
one
I
down.
do I dare pop Mend? Let's try it.
That is always. You got a little bit.
Yeah, it worked.
Yeah, that always is a tough call when you're that low. Do you
Uh.
risk dying from your own?
Shaman tank for the win.
Yeah, you're doing pretty good, man. You got some really good armor though.
Yeah, but okay, but yeah, like you were saying, AC, the guilds that specialize in the lower levels are definitely the Blackheart Pirates and the Kittens Who Say Meow. I mean, I'll
Sorry.
just straight up,
I gotta
I'll just straight up and say that
I gotta go 100% for Blackheart Pirates.
yeah.
I like the kittens who say meow as well. I've seen them all over the place. A lot of people in that guild, and for the most part, or actually for every part, I haven't seen them do anything that is offensive in any way. They're just really nice people, as well as the Blackheart Pirates. I mean, I can't really say anything bad about them either. But yeah, I don't know if I've seen a lot of low-level people in this guild. It seems to be about mid-level, to be honest, about level 20 to about level 60, anywhere in that range. Not too many on the 60s. At least that's not what I usually see on when I'm playing the game. But I play pretty late, and they were primarily a North American guild, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The guild leader is actually in Kansas and all that. So it's a
In Kansas, really?
yep.
Wow. Not in Kansas anymore, Toto. That is what I always think of when they say that. But yeah, I mean, it's a really good group of people. And I would highly suggest if you guys are interested in finding a guild or joining a guild, Blackheart Pirates is definitely an option. Kittens Who Say Meow, again, great people that I've seen. But
I can give the viewers if if they are lower level and they want to join a good guild, join the Blackheart Pirates or Kitten Suicide Meow. And the Blackheart Pirates website, as far as I know, if it hasn't been changed, it's www.blackheartpirates.com.
and of course, you don't necessarily even need to go to the guild website. I've never actually been to their
No, no,
website.
they don't make you sign up for anything. It's just to see what they're all about and
Yeah,
what kind of stuff that they like and stuff. You know, just
very very casual, very
yeah.
casual. Just come out, talk, enjoy conversations with people, and that's one of the things that you may be wondering. Like if you've never played a game like this, there's a pop back here. What's the point of joining a guild? Like, what do they offer you? Well, they don't really offer you anything in the way of like status points or something when by joining. Basically, it's just a group of people who have like-minded ideas. Either it's an adult-themed guild or it's a family-friendly guild. If you're going to have your kids in there with you, and there have conversations going on. People will share information a little bit more easily in a guild than they will say to people who happen to be in the same zone as you. And
Right.
you can communicate with people in your guild no matter what zone they're in, and no matter what zone you're in. So in this game, there is no server wide chat channel. You can't just ask a question to everybody on the server. You can.
Yeah, yeah, and that's what the /guild command is for. You know, to ask any questions you have, or because you never may have never played EverQuest back in the day, and you may have questions, and that's perfectly okay, and that's what guilds are for. They're there to help you.
Yeah, and even if you did play EverQuest back in the day, it's a very, very big game, and there's always stuff you have no idea what's going on with. Of course, you can always check the wiki nowadays, but just having that extra little thing to lean on, your guild to either just talk to, when you're doing a camp that may be, 30, 40 minutes in between spawns. You may be there for, 10, 15 hours in a row trying to get a piece for your epic, and, the zone is completely empty. But you can still talk to your guild, hold conversations, have fun, make jokes, and then just get to know them a little bit. And that's kind of cool. That little camaraderie that you get out of having a guild and getting to know them and just being a part of something bigger than yourself is something that's actually really really nice. And then later on, well, go ahead.
There's also other things like I don't know about you guys, but like me, if I'm trying to sell something and I sell it to one of my guildies, I always give them a discount.
That's a good subject too. Because there's always that guilty discount, or don't
Yeah,
charge
you
them.
don't abuse it.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
I was gonna say usually if I was gonna sell an item and then I found out a guildmate could use it, I just give it to him. I mean, I was never really about all the cash. I know there's other people out there who'll be like, no, no, you get the discount. I mean, I understand that.
If it's a
For me,
50K item,
I
no.
would just give it to them. Like if they
But
really, really needed it and it wasn't just something nice to have, and it was going to be a huge improvement. And chances are, if you do give your guild something and it's that valuable, if they're at least as decent as you are in that sense, they're going to give the item back when they no longer need it anymore. And I've
the
had that
first
happen to me before.
the first floor is clear. Let's met up and wait for
No,
repops.
it's not. I'm looking at a skeleton right there next to the pillar to the right.
Oh yeah,
All
on the
right.
other side, straight ahead to the right,
No, straight ahead, all the way over. I'm looking
on the
right at
back
it.
wall, on the back wall.
Ah, okay.
Trying to say it's clear when it's not. Ha!
Well, I mean, he did clear out the entire area over here. He's just this one little guy just happened to respawn as he said that. So I think he's doing a fantastic job of pulling. And of course,
Oh yeah.
he's not taking very many hits because of that funky tunic on, and so he's doing a far far better job than I would be, which is pretty cool.
Oh, he's taking tons of hits. He just heals 3 times as fast as you.
That, and he's also not taking nearly as many hits as I was because he has better armor on too. He has those little green booties, which are pretty cool looking. I actually have to admit that I like the color of that. Wouldn't
And
be.
here are the stats for him if you guys want to look at them. If you didn't get that on video, AC.
Oh yeah, I think we've shown it on a few other videos, but yeah, they're really really nice boots. But I wouldn't mind an outfit completely made out of that. Maybe mix in a little bit of like blood ember armor, that darkish reddish color like your pants. But yeah, that's a really nice color green.
Yeah, I like it because the fungi and the shoes match. So
Oh, the green that are on them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's kind of hard to find things that actually give you color in this game. I mean, a lot of the armor doesn't really show up unless it happens to be, a robe. They have different, a lot of different illusions for the robe. For breastplates, as far as like plate armor, that seems to have a fair amount of color to it sometimes. But for monks, pretty much it's all going to look like leather.
Mm.
And you're not going to see a lot of change in that. So when you finally find a piece that gives you a color to it, you might actually go ahead and take the penalty of whatever the armor is, because it's probably not going to be nearly as good as what you have already. That's something better. But just have the illusion on. It's not like in Everquest 2 where they started to giving people the tab for appearance only. So you,
Right.
so you could have an item that gave you stats, and then later on you could have an item just for looks alone, which is kind of cool. I like it, but I can live without it too. And I do like the fact that people will go above and beyond to put pieces on their character to make them look a little different, even if that means maybe not wearing the best piece.
Hold on. I like how Diablo does it.
Diablo goes way, when you're talking about Diablo 3,
Yeah.
Diablo goes way, way into a lot of the
Ding, level
customization.
11.
Ah, congrats, man.
Congrats.
Thanks. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you guys.
No, you're welcome
Okay.
to, man. Like when we do this many conversation or people in the conversation, especially you guys have watched some of our other videos where we have maybe like 5 or 6 or 7 people on the call. It is just going to be a natural thing where people kind of have to butt in. People have to talk over each other a little bit. Otherwise, like nobody would ever get to say anything because I can ramble on for years. And
Uh-huh.
yeah, you guys, you got to butt in every so often because I'm completely fine with that. And I'll talk over people occasionally, and I'll try not to because it's just a bad habit to do.
Yeah. But
Same
yeah,
here.
Diablo 3, you can make any piece of gear look like any other piece of gear that you've looted.
And
I
you can
love
change the
that.
color.
Yeah,
You can
and
change the color.
buy it and everything, and I love that concept because it would make everybody in the game want to go out and loot everything in the game,
I
just so they
mean,
can get that look into their repertoire.
I understand it, and it's a cool concept to have. Would it fit every game out there? Maybe. Would it fit this one? Possibly, but it would change it to the point where it would no longer be the game that I was accustomed to. Like a lot of
Fine.
characters would be. Well, for one, you could have a monk running around in a robe, and it would be very difficult. Like right
Oh
now,
no, no, because just like with Diablo 3, it's class specific.
but there are robes that monks can wear. They just suck really, really bad. So you would be
Yeah,
able to have that feature of wearing a robe because you've picked up that item that your character can wear. I
yeah,
don't know.
but
I
I'm
mean, right now as it is, the characters in the game can be very easily seen at just a glance on what they are. Like a bard who joins your group and he's wearing full plate armor and it's blue, you're like, oh, okay, that's a bard, right? Like they're the only ones who wear blue armor that looks that way. It has a very certain look to it. The same thing for a tank. They can join you and be like, okay, I know exactly what pieces of armor you're wearing. The same thing for a necro when he's wearing a black robe. You're like, okay, I know what robe that is. And you can immediately, just from a glance, be able to tell not only what, class they're playing, but just how well equipped they are. And that's kind of a nice little thing to have when you're putting a group together. You don't really want to say, when somebody sends you a tell and be like, hey, can I join your group? You don't really want to sit there and be like, okay, yeah, but what kind of armor do you have? Because we're going to be going and attacking something very, very tough. I want, very well equipped people with me. You don't even need to do that.
yeah.
You could just look at them and be like, oh, no, no, we're full at the moment or something like that without hurting their feelings,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
So
Well,
that's,
it's even in Diablo 3, like the armor is different for a crusader and a barbarian. So you would still be able to tell the difference between them. It would just be more of a variation that people would have to, learn. But it it would actually make the game even better because it's one of the complaints that a lot of people have about the game is that everybody looks the same.
I
How's meta?
guess,
How's meta?
70.
All right.
yeah, I guess I could see that being a complaint that some people might have. But to be honest, because everybody is forced to look the same, a lot of people, like I said, will go above and beyond to get pieces that make them look different from other people. And again, it's not the best equipment in the game, so they're willing to sacrifice at times anyways. Maybe not on raids. Everybody's going to look the same on raids because everybody wants to wear the best equipment to fight these mobs, but in regular groups, I remember with my cleric, I had a an orb. It was like a snow cone that I could have from Seb. And then of course Najina dropped one as well, and it's for the offhand. It's the only one in the game that you can get that has that same illusion to it that can fit into your offhand. And I remember going over there at like level 50 with my cleric, or level 60 or something
I
like
got
that,
three.
going over there
Three here.
to camp that item just for the illusion alone. I took my shield off. The shield gave me a lot more, wisdom than this little item did. I think it was like 10 power or something like that, 10 mana that it gave me. But I was willing to do that because I like the illusion for it. So I kind of like the difficulty of being forced to choose. Like in these new games, you're not really forced to choose anything. You don't have that negative connotation of giving something up so you can have that illusion. You're just like, which illusion do I like? I'll go with that one. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I like the difficulty
You
of this
two
game.
kill those. The ones that are on you guys are yellows. The one that me and Anacron are on is a dark blue, so don't
Oh,
worry
okay.
about this one.
Yeah, I just like the difficulty. There's not a lot of games out there these days, anyways, that have this kind of difficulty or even close to this kind of difficulty on it. It just seems like a lot of them are very easy,
Right.
like built
Yeah.
for that, and I completely understand that. There needs to be games like that in the world. I know I was reviewing and playing a game called Terratech, and it's, still in development and it's still going through its stages. At the time I was playing it, it was very, very easy, and it was cool because it's very you know accommodating to get into, to learn the basics, to kind of figure out what you need to do and you need to do it. And my little nephew saw the videos. He was like, he liked that game. He wanted to try it. The same day that he got the game, they did an update, and the update dramatically altered the difficulty of the game. So much so that he played it for like 4 or 5 hours straight one day, and he kept dying like every 5 minutes. It totally put him off from the game
Oh
because
wow.
because he was so young. He's like learning how to play games, and here this game that looked really easy just kept killing him again and again and again, and he could never build up the skill, the knowledge base he needed to get any further. Now it was something they
Yeah,
fixed.
it can't be too tough.
Well, it can be, but you need to have those easy ones so people who are getting into games, or even people who have been playing games for years but maybe never have played an RPG, or maybe never who played an MMO, you need those easy ones to get them interested, to let them learn the basics and just get that skill built up.
Well, that's what the tutorial is for. You got to
Not,
have
not really.
an easier area for, well, even somebody that's played an RPG forever. Like, let's say you've been playing EQ for a long time, but you go over to World of Warcraft, it's a totally different animal.
Yeah, but even with that, I mean, somebody who's played World of Warcraft or somebody who's played Everquest, they can go from one to the other pretty easily. They've gotten the skills down. But I'm talking about people who are just getting involved in the entire thing itself, trying to figure this stuff out. I greatly appreciate games that have an easy feel to them. I just don't think all the games out there should have that. And that's why I
Uh,
like these hard ones.
I can use an example. There was a guy that just joined Forsaken not too long ago. He's a druid, and it's his only character on the server, and his name is Running Frenzy, and he's never played a request or MMO for that matter of fact, and like this is his first experience, and he's loving it. So
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, it's not for everybody. And so I like the easy ones. I like the difficult ones. I like the ones that meet somewhere in the middle. There's a
Right.
game I'm playing right now called Underrail. Very first time I happened upon it, it whipped the crap out of me, man. I'm talking about, this is an old school RPG where you can actually fail. You can literally create a character from scratch that has no chance of ever beating the game, no matter how much you wanted to do it. It is very, very unforgiving. This is not a game I would suggest somebody who's never played an RPG to get into,
Which
because
one?
it's Underrail, and it's just not going to be one that you can make
Which one
mistakes.
is that?
It's the post-apocalyptic, game that takes place in like the sewers. It has a Fallout 1 and 2 feel. So if you guys ever played Fallout 2, that kind of
Oh
old
yeah,
dungeon crawler,
Yeah, I couldn't get into watching that one.
Yeah, it's a unique feel, and a lot of people like it, but definitely hard mode. Not something for the newbie. But when I watch, my nephews and my nieces play games, and I see that a lot of them love Nintendo, because Nintendo is something that even older people who've never played games, or at least maybe only played arcades way back when, can pick up and very easily learn and get a hang of it. Now I see some of
You got one on
my
you?
my nephews
I
actually
know. I'm pulling another one.
progressing into more systems like the Xbox and the PlayStation, playing bigger games that are a little bit more complicated and require that training or that experience that they kind of received on the earlier systems that are a little bit easier for them. I just think there's steps and there's a place for all types of games.
Well, yeah, but all they got to do is have a tutorial, have an easier section, give people a place to learn the game, learn the buttons, the commands, and how to play it and whatnot.
You
And
imagine
then
trying
make it
to
tougher.
you imagine trying to teach somebody who's never played an RPG or an MMO how to play EverQuest? Like, yeah, a regular tutorial would not be sufficient. Like, you need to teach them the basics, like strength. This is a
That's what I
stat. What
mean
what
by
is it? What does a
a
stat mean?
tutorial.
But it would be a really super long tutorial. Like, I mean, you would have to spend hours teaching them the basics because they have no understanding
Hey,
of what stats are. They have no
I don't
understanding of what strength and stamina usually
I
does in an
don't care
RPG.
if they got to stay in there a month. If it makes them learn the game, good.
Yeah, that's fine if you could actually find people who want to sit in a tutorial for a month, because that's not a thing. Like nobody wants to spend that much time
All
learning
right,
a
all
game.
right. Don't use your man. I'm gonna bind wound you.
Well, let me go and sit where I normally sit then.
Oh, jeez, I hate Mend. Absolutely hate Mend. Just lost an entire bubble of my health using Mend.
Oh, it comes and it's a it's a toss up. It really is with Mend.
Yeah, it used to
What's
be.
your skill at?
It's at 62, just went up. So I'm
Okay.
not quite 100 yet. I'm getting close. Getting close, guys. We're only about 40 points off, but um,
Well, at 62, you're actually over the hump, so it should start healing you more often than fail.
I would say it's about 60 to 65% of the time I get a heal out of it. It used to be like 30% of the time I would get a heal out of it, and the rest of the time it would either do nothing or actually fail and then hurt me. But nowadays, I see more often than not I do get a heal. The rest of the time, again, it's either I don't get healed at all, which is pretty rare, and the other part is I get hit, and that seems to be the common occurrence when it goes bad. So
Yeah,
I don't know. I mean, 62 sounds like a decent number to me, and it does seem like
I'm
it's making a difference.
I'm out of
Hey,
bandages now.
hold on. Will you trust me for just a minute?
Trust you with what?
Yeah.
I just want to see your icky, because I want to see what it'll look like on me. Because I know it goes green, kind of like your boots on you. Is it the same graphic on me?
Oh, you talking about his breastplate,
Yeah.
his fungi
Well,
tunic?
see, I like that. That looks good.
Let's get that on video. That's awesome. It's purple and green. That's awesome.
That's what I'm saying. That looks nice.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
It actually matches with your pants that you got.
Yeah,
Fashion.
and if you look at my elbows turned pink like my pants do, and no matter what, down there it's always pink on me because it's a female, so that
Oh God.
blends. Hey, thanks. I'm never giving that back.
Yeah.
I would be banned on this server so fast, or at least blackballed.
Yeah, I don't know about ban because he did just give it to you, but definitely if you do that, guys, and I did actually see that happen quite a bit on EverQuest back in the day. We would be
Yeah.
sitting over there camping the FBSS, and because there is no system in this game that when a creature dies and somebody loots the corpse, it goes ahead and pops up a little window that says need, greed, or decline, or something like in EverQuest 2 or a World of Warcraft. This one whoever's looting the corpse can literally loot anything they want out of that and cannot be stopped or hindered in any way by any of the other teammates. So you would have somebody try to, we got a pop here, but you would see somebody try to like ninja loot the item, and they would get it.
Mhm.
They would be the first one to loot that corpse like before it even touched the ground. The moment it dies and is falling down, milliseconds, has already clicked on that corpse and looted. They probably were
Don't
just
touch.
clicking away.
Don't touch these two. I'm just gonna solo them for a bit until you guys kill that one.
Okay. But yeah, I mean, they must have been clicking away the entire time or just had perfect timing. But either way, they would loot the corpse, take the item. You want to back up a little bit, you might get another ad there. But yeah, they would take the item, and then they would either exit out of the game or just gate out and leave. Nothing you could do about that. You couldn't force them to come back and give you the item, but you would have people blackball them and be like, this. You would see it every so often in chat channel on the zone that you're in. People would do out of character and be like, holy crap, that guy just took the FPSS and logged out. Or be like, oh, he just looted it and he went link dead. And they're like, well, is he coming back? They give him a little bit of grace period before they start bashing him. But if the guy didn't come back in a few minutes, yeah, that was pretty much the end of his career. He would never, ever get another
Exactly.
group ever again. It just...
Oh, and especially on raids, people that ninja'd on a raid.
That never happened,
Oh my god.
That just never happened for me because it was always with guild members.
Oh, I saw quite a few times where and people would do it on purpose. They would make an alt, power level it up, get into a guild that is going after the gear that they want, and then ninja loot it and take off.
But it's worthless to them because if you made an alt just so you can get that piece of armor, it's no trade anyways. Like 99% of the gear is 99.
Actually, some of the stuff in TOV is tradable that you can trade it. So if they do ninja loot it, it's bad news because that stuff sells for a lot of platinum.
But you're talking about a certain zone. I was talking about like the plains. Most of that stuff is just no trade. Like you're not going to be able to do anything with that.
Yeah. Okay, I see what you're saying.
I knew a couple people from GMing that would work in concert together. They would make alts and power level each other up and all that just to get them into a guild.
How's
and
mana?
then when they would get in, go ahead, pull that guy. They would get in the guild, ninja loot it, and then give it to the other person to sell. That way, when that guy got in trouble, it was his account getting banned, but the other one wouldn't get in trouble at all.
I guess, but on this server, anyways, they look at that stuff. They don't really just look at and see, oh, you're the one who looted it, or you're the one who did this. They look at who you bought it from. They can see all that in the coding. I mean, they can see all that in the records.
They can see that in the logs. They can see that in everything. Stricken does a really good job at staying on top of that stuff.
And they won't tell you exactly what they can and can't see, but they don't need to because they can see enough.
They can see pretty much everything.
Yeah, there's no reason to believe that something you got away with doing, 6 months or a year ago will not come back and bite you in your butt one day. And why even risk it? Like, this game is just so great playing the way it is. You don't really need to cheat. You don't need to cheat people out of their equipment either. Just play the game naturally. You're going to get that stuff. It's just going to happen. Especially if you...
I never understood why to cheat and scam people and everything in games anyway.
Yeah, the amount of effort that they would spend in a game like this to get them up to level 60 is more effort than it would take just to go on a few raids and get the item naturally.
Another topic I want to touch. Another topic I want to touch up on this topic you guys are talking about is like if you ninja loot something in this game, they will ban you like instantly. Like I knew a guy that ninja looted something from in Planet of Fear and he got banned in the next couple days, man. So they're pretty on top of it.
Oh, really? So that is actually a rule against on the server from doing that?
Oh, that's a very big rule.
Okay, see, it wasn't a rule back in the day. Like, that was perfectly legal for you to do. It was just frowned upon so much that the people, the actual players, would enforce it,
Yeah, it's definitely a rule on this server.
And what do they classify as ninja looting? Like, taking it and just, going link dead or leaving?
If it's not yours and you take it, it's a ninja loot.
Yeah. If you take it and if it belongs to another guild and there's a dragon corpse sitting there and you take it and you gate or whatever, and you log off whatever, then it's considered ninja loot.
Well,
Okay.
If you take it anyway,
also,
it's still ninja loot.
you know how we already have it established that I'm master looting because you guys are monks and you don't want the weight and all that?
Right.
If you guys didn't agree to that and I was just doing it anyway, that's ninja looting.
Not technically, because you are part of the group. And if you're part of the
No,
group and you're a
it
part of
doesn't
the.
matter if you're in the group or you're in the raid. It's still ninja looting because you're looting something that you don't have permission.
But I don't know if I can really, agree to that because, yeah, for a very specific item that drops off of a named, that goes without saying that it's going to be random on. But for just regular loot, I mean, that. I don't. Yeah, that would be really
It
messed up if you could get booted out for looting, like,
it's
an
not
iron
as
ration or something like that, just because they can give you permission to do it.
it's not as
Oh
oh
crap!
my god, you took this.
I'm at the zone.
Yeah, I think you might have to, but you know what?
We'll
We're
try
gonna
it.
take it anyway.
We'll try it. We might be able to get a few of them off you. There we
It's
go.
not. There we go. There's the yellow. But if you try to call ninja loot on bone chips or something like that, you're gonna get laughed at.
Right,
You're,
and that's what I'm saying. Like the principle
Right.
of the thing, is
but
I
it's
don't think you
in
can do
Bone
that.
chips and bone chips, really?
Right? He'd be like,
in
he stole it,
principle,
man.
it
He
still
took my bone
is
chips.
ninja looting.
Yeah.
Because if you're taking something, whether you're in the group or in the raid or outside of the group and outside of the raid, it's still ninja looting because you're taking something that somebody else worked for.
I don't know. That gets a really kind of sticky situation because when you're in the group, you are participating, and therefore you earned it just as much as anybody else did. Now, if you didn't work out ahead of time, and if they can go back and look at the chat logs to see exactly what you guys agreed to or didn't agree to, when you join a group, almost everybody will immediately ask, especially if you're camping a named with a really good item. They'd be like, "What are the loot rules? Like, are we doing this 1 through 100, 1 through 1,000?
Yeah.
What's going on here?" Because sometimes people will actually be camping a named for a guildie, for a friend, and they may invite you into the group with the understanding that when the item drops, it goes to him first. You're
How's
in
mana?
there. You're in there just to get experience.
How's mana?
I'm pretty good on mana,
All
but
right.
I'm a little bit low on the hit points.
I have no more bandages.
Yeah,
Sorry. I think it's about time we run to the town and get some supplies. AC.
we definitely
throwing
can. And this is probably a good place to go ahead and end the episode here, anyways, guys.
Oh man.
I do want to thank you all for coming out. If you do enjoy these videos, be sure to hit that like button. Also, if you can, if you feel like you want to, share the video with somebody. Let them know about it. We want to reach a bigger audience. We want to get a lot more comments from you guys, and we want to group with a lot of you guys as well. So
I-
we're trying to get.
I couldn't agree more, man. That's awesome. Definitely share it.
Yeah, definitely. If you can, if you want to.
And definitely we would love to get new people onto the game. I mean, that's
On the-
what it's all about, is a higher population.
Also, I'd like to, I was thinking about trying maybe to get a couple more people in the Skype call. I mean, I know not everybody's into that thing, but it'd be cool to talk to some new people and group with some new people at the same time and do some other videos and stuff.
Yeah, and you guys are always welcome to come out. We do have an age limit. You have to be above 18, unfortunately, because, unless you want to have your parents sign a little waiver or something like that. But
Yeah.
you're more than welcome to come out. We love having you. And it's just been a great experience meeting you guys and talking to you and sharing this journey with all of you because it is something that many of us are very passionate about. We played this game back in the day. It has very fond memories for a lot of us. And playing it again is that trip down memory lane of just really, really good times with really good friends. And it comes back to you guys. I can't tell you enough how much this game is just fantastic. I absolutely love it. But again, guys, thanks for watching, and we will catch you all next time.
Subscribe.